Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with your news from around the Columbia Basin for Tuesday, November 20th. Tonight we report on a Moses Lake manufacturing company that's donating a sizable sum to local Marine Nick Kimmel. And we'll hear about a man who ended up in the police logs after throwing some holiday cheer out his car window. We'll learn the estimated cost of the wildfires that scorched central Washington this summer and find out whether charter schools are likely to start springing up around the state prior to next school year. In sports, we have the highlights from the Gonzaga men's basketball game and Monday Night Football. Our spotlight story tonight gives us a glimpse behind the scenes of the hotline that will help thousands of holiday cooks stay out of trouble this week. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story, Moses Lake's own Nick Kimmel caught the public eye last month after throwing out the first pitch for Game 2 of the World Series. Less publicized has been the incredible support of the local community toward Kimmel's recovery. The Marine lost both legs and an arm last December while serving in Afghanistan. In September, tens of thousands of dollars were raised through a dinner and auction benefit organized on his behalf. Now, Genie Industries of Moses Lake is donating the proceeds from a month of scrap metal recycling, a sum totaling about $50,000. Glenn Gear, who is the senior director at the Moses Lake plant, said the company was contacted by Chris Hansen, the person behind an ongoing scrap metal drive for Kimmel. Materials manager Rhonda Severance ran the idea by members of the company's executive team who gave their approval. From late September through October, Genie diverted thousands of pounds of metal to J&K Recycling in Moses Lake. Gear says that Genie happened to be going through a product redesign last month, and so it had more than the typical amount of metal to offload. For more information on how to donate to the ongoing scrap metal drive for Kimmel, call Chris Hansen at 765-1903 or 760-7269. A Moses Lake family may think twice before trying to be good Samaritans, again after having their truck stolen by a hitchhiker. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, a 20-year-old Moses Lake man was driving east on State Route 2 near Heartline on Saturday afternoon with his family when he saw a young woman walking on the side of the road and pulled over to offer a ride. The woman declined and the driver continued on to Coulee City, but a family member recommended he go back and pick the woman up. When he returned, the woman allegedly threatened him with a rock, forcing him out of the vehicle before driving away with his 2000 Ford Ranger. 21-year-old Tierra Howard of Cheney was pulled over a short time later by a Grant County Sheriff's deputy and was arrested for robbery in the first degree. Thousands of hungry people have been served so far this year by the Moses Lake Food Bank, but the organization still needs donations to make it through the holidays. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
Every Thanksgiving, the Moses Lake Food Bank gives families a little extra for their dinner. On Monday, the food bank handed out hundreds of boxes to thousands of hungry people. But that doesn't mean the need has been quenched. Food Bank Operations Manager Penny Archer says the tons of food donated by area farmers, retail businesses, and residents will go fast.
We expect in a 3-day time in Moses Lake alone to see over 1,600 families that we're going to help with holiday food.
Now, as always, the food bank is asking people to help out their neighbors in need. The food bank will continue taking donations until Thanksgiving Day, after which they'll begin organizing for Christmas. Scott Kilpatrick is the financial manager for the Community Services of Moses Lake. He says the Moses Lake Food Bank oversees sustenance programs in Grant, Adams, and Lincoln counties.
Our operation is quite large here. We provide food to 12 food banks, and probably about 2.8 million pounds of food is distributed in a 3-county area through this site.
Along with food, volunteers will also give Christmas presents to about 1,400 local children this year.
There's a lot of hungry people out there. One thing that we've seen recently is that the number of families, although hasn't increased, it's about peaked. Those same families are coming in more and more often to get food. So the need within the families has gone deeper.
For more information on giving, visit mlfood.org or call 509-765-8101.
We're very, very thankful for all the support that the local community gives to us, because without that support, it would not be possible to serve the number of people that we're able to.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. Battling the 4 largest wildfires in central Washington this year cost an estimated $67.5 million. According to the Associated Press, that figure doesn't include the cost of replacing damaged or destroyed property or indirect costs such as lost business and tax revenues. Joe Schramek of the State Department of Natural Resources says firefighters' wages and benefits and their equipment are always the greatest expense in fighting fires. At an estimated $33.6 million, wages and benefits are about half the cost this year for the region's 4 largest fires: the Taylor Bridge, Table Mountain, Wenatchee Complex, and Yakima Complex blazes. The rest of the costs came from support personnel, logistics, supplies, and aviation. Now that voters have spoken about charter schools, will the new independent public schools be an option at the beginning of the next academic year? An Associated Press report says it's an unlikely prospect. Voters narrowly approved Initiative 1240 earlier this month, but opening charter schools by 2013 would require many things to happen quickly. And there's a strong possibility the state's top education officer will sue to block them. First, the State Board of Education has to figure out the next steps. The board has until March 6 to adopt rules to govern most aspects of charter schools in Washington. Board spokesman Aaron Wyatt said the schedule is tight, so people shouldn't expect them to beat their deadline. The State Department of Corrections is looking for more people with arrest warrants. Each of the people you see here have warrants for their arrest and are wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these individuals, the DOC asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day, or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER 1 Weather Center.